Hey everybody, this is Breadman from the Natural Selection 2 forums. I'm going to give you a brief overview of using the new Spark editor to create levels for Natural Selection 2. I'm just going to jump right in. I'm in this perspective view here. I'm going to grab the rectangle tool. As you can see, a live grid comes up. I'm going to click and drag out a rectangle, and it creates a polygon. Once I have that, I'm going to hold down the right mouse button to move my camera around. Once you have the right mouse button clicked, you can also use your WASD keys to move around. Also, you can use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and hold down the middle click to pan. I'm going to then grab my extrude tool. With the extrude tool, you grab a face. If you move it up, you'll notice it creates a 3D box similar to a brush in Hammer. Fortunately, we don't need to use brushes anymore, because if you drag down, it actually creates a hollow box with the polygons facing in, and if you move the camera inside, you can see that all four walls, floor, and ceiling are already created for you. One of the first things I do when starting a level, which I recommend you do as well, I'm going to go to my prop browser, filter for player, just click directly on the face you want to create it. Create a player prop. This is just good practice so that you have a feel for the scale of your level from as soon as you start. So we've got one room with a player in it. I'm going to go work on extending that. So I'm going to go and look at this wall over here. I'm going to grab my rectangle tool again. Notice that the edge I'm hovering over is blue, and there is a red dot designating where my cursor is going to affect the wall. So I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to drag out a rectangle again. And what happens here is the rectangle is actually embedded into the existing face. So you can see there's two faces here now. You can also turn on triangulation if you want to get a better feel for how your faces are being split up there. Now that I have that extra face, I'm going to grab my extrude tool again. Just click and drag, and I've created a hallway. You can see from the outside. I'm going to extend my hallway down a little further. The face is still selected, so I'm going to grab my move tool. There's a little selection gizmo which comes up. I'm going to continue to drag it out in the x-axis. Oh, notice that the walls are stretching. That's because this little button down here is the button you use to lock your textures. I'm going to turn it off so that I keep the same texture dimensions. I'm going to drag my hallway out a little bit, then I'm going to come down in here. I'm going to grab another tool, the line tool. Works similar to the rectangle tool. I'm going to move it along an edge here, get a red dot, click and drag up until I snap to the other line at the top. And once again, I've split this up into multiple faces. I'm going to grab the extrude tool, create a corner, drag that out a little more. Line tool is useful for a few other things, as well as just drawing right onto faces. You can create new faces using the line tool. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to grab this point, drag out to the side, keep dragging. You'll see as soon as I complete a loop, a face is already created for me. You can use the rectangle tool in the same way. Notice the vertex turns green. It means that I'm hovering over it. Create a wall. It's a little buggy. Sometimes you don't quite get the wall that you want, but Max is working on that. You can grab the line tool. Notice the little helper line shows up. Close out this room. We still don't have a ceiling, so I'm going to grab edges by holding down the control key and clicking multiple, and I'm going to go edit, create face, and it's smart enough to know that it's a ceiling face, and so it's facing down.